आइए सर।
मंजिल उनको मिलती है जिनके सपनों में जान होती है, मंजिल उनको मिलती है जिनके सपनों में जान होती है, पंखों से कुछ नहीं होता, हौसलों से उड़ान होती है। With this meaningful word, let's begin today's event. A very warm good morning and a hearty welcome to all. As we all know that we are gathered here for second episode of Saksham, workshop on capacity building for UPSC Civil Service exam preparation by Bajiram and Ravi Institute. We are honored to have Mr. Nityan sir, Head of Mentorship Cell of Bajiram and Ravi Institute, and Mr. Nishit sir, Head of Content and Research Cell of Bajiram and Ravi Institute, as our speakers for this event. We are extremely honored to welcome sir. We, Tanya and Sarthak are the hosts for today's event. Now I would like to call Prashant sir on the stage for few words.
वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल और गुड आफ्टरनून टू 2 मिनट बाद गुड आफ्टरनून हो जाएगा। बाजीराव एंड रवि इंस्टीट्यूट बच्चे मेरे पास आए थे। उन्होंने मुझे बताया कि सर आपको एक वेलकम करना है, एक दूसरा एक वोट ऑफ थैंक्स भी देना है। तो मैंने उनसे पूछा, क्योंकि सडन था, मैंने उनसे पूछा कि कौन है। देन उन्होंने मुझे बताया कि हमारा यूपीएससी का ऐसे लेक्चर होता है और जो इंस्टीट्यूशन है वहाँ से जो रिसोर्स पर्सन है लोगों को पढ़ाने के लिए आते हैं। तो उन्होंने बताया कि जो ये लेक्चर सीरीज़ है वो बिल्कुल निःशुल्क है, फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट है। तो जो बच्चे भी इस लेक्चर को अटेंड करते हैं, पहले किया है या अभी करेंगे, ठीक है, उनके लिए ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। ठीक है, नहीं तो इस चीज़ के लिए और इस लेवल की शिक्षा को पाने के लिए और ऐसे लेक्चर पाने के लिए आपको लाखों रुपए इंस्टीट्यूशन में देने पड़ते हैं। तो आप लोगों का सौभाग्य है, ठीक है, कि पहला तो आप रामानुजन कॉलेज के विद्यार्थी हैं, दूसरा आपकी नीट जो सिविल सर्विस सोसाइटी है उसने ऐसे अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूशन के साथ कोलैबोरेशन किया हुआ है। मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा, जो भी इस लेक्चर को अटेंड करते हैं बच्चे और करेंगे, वो बहुत मन लगा करके इसको पढ़ें, और वो बिल्कुल भी ना इसको अटेंड करें जिनके मन में यूपीएससी के प्रति कोई सजगता नहीं है। क्योंकि यूपीएससी देश की सबसे मैं कहूँगा अगर सर्वोच्च परीक्षा प्रणाली है तो कोई गलत नहीं होगा। ठीक है, यूपीएससी में कहते हैं कि यूपीएससी क्लियर हुआ तो महान इंसान बन जाओगे, और यदि क्लियर नहीं हुआ तो भी एक बहुत अच्छा व्यक्तित्व आपके अंदर ज़रूर आ जाएगा। ठीक है, और आपके जो टीचर हैं निशित जी हैं इनमें से, और रिध्यान जी हैं। ठीक है, तो आपका सौभाग्य है, आप अपने सौभाग्य इसलिए है कि टीचर भी कई होते हैं, लेकिन जो यंग और डायनामिक पर्सनैलिटी होती है ना, उनका पढ़ाने का वर्तमान संदर्भ में अपना ही एक अलग तरीका होता है। ठीक है, तो आप, मैं ज़्यादा कोई समय नहीं लूँगा, मेरा यही आपसे अपेक्षा है कि आप जो लेक्चर सीरीज़ है इसको अच्छे से अटेंड करें, अपने जो शिक्षक हैं, टीचर हैं, उनका बहुत बेहतरीन तरीके से साथ दें। दूसरा, क्लास में और लेक्चर को अटेंड करते वक्त ऐसा एक माहौल बनाया जाए टीचर्स के साथ, जो कि वो मतलब आपको पढ़ाते हैं ना, तो आप उनको भी अच्छा लगना चाहिए कि हम यदि इतनी बेहतरीन निःशुल्क शिक्षा यदि इन्हीं छात्रों को प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, तो हमारा मानना है कि हमें ऐसा मतलब ऐसा जो है ना कोऑर्डिनेशन कोऑपरेशन मिलना चाहिए जिससे उनको पढ़ाने में भी बहुत अच्छा लगे। यानी जब वो अपना टेनियर यहाँ से ख़त्म करें, ठीक है, तो उनके मन में आप लोगों के प्रति बहुत सकारात्मक भाव हो। ठीक है, तो बहुत बेहतरीन तालियों के साथ दोनों टीचर्स का स्वागत करना चाहिए आप लोगों को। थैंक यू सो मच सर। और मैं मानता हूँ कि आपके जैसी यंग डायनामिक पर्सनैलिटी यदि कॉलेज के बच्चों को फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड कर रही है तो हमारे इंस्टीट्यूशन के लिए भी बहुत बड़ी बात है। दूसरा, मैं जो प्रेसिडेंट है, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट है नीम सोसाइटी के, उन लोगों को भी मतलब यही कहना चाहूँगा कि आप लोगों से ये नहीं कि लेक्चर सीरीज हो गई तो कोऑर्डिनेशन खत्म हो गया, मतलब फ्यूचर में भी आप लोगों के साथ अच्छा कोऑर्डिनेशन रहे ताकि आने वाले जितने भी बैचेस हैं उन लोगों को मतलब एक बेहतरीन यूपीएससी के लिए प्लेटफॉर्म मिल सके। ठीक है, तो थैंक यू सो मच सर।
Now I would like to give you all a generic introduction about this workshop. This workshop is another episode of Saksham offering by Vajiram and Ravi coaching in collaboration with me, the Civil Service Society of Ramanujan College, aimed at capacity building for UPSC preparation. Topic of this workshop is first, women in Indian polity, and second one is weathering the storm, India's fight against weather change.
I will share a brief introduction about Vajiram and Ravi Institute. Vajiram and Ravi Institute is a prestigious coaching institute in India, headquartered in New Delhi, renowned for its comprehensive UPSC exam preparation. Established in 1976, it offers a range of courses and study material for the civil service examination, including expert facility and comprehensive guidance for all exam stages. It has a strong track record of producing successful civil servants and is the top choice of UPSC aspirants.
Now I would like to give a brief introduction about me, the Civil Service Society of Ramanujan College. The Civil Service Society of Ramanujan College aims to provide every possible assistance regarding the civil service examination. It focuses on grooming the young CSE aspirants and provide them a conducive environment where they can get guidance, study material, workshops, lectures and seminars which are helpful for their preparation. The vision of our society is helping and providing all our required assistance for grooming the young civil service aspirant from an early stage itself. We also organize many webinars, seminars and study lectures which help students gain knowledge about the exam.
I would like to invite our speaker, Mr. Rahityan sir, on the stage to begin the workshop. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause. Thank you, sir.
Hello everyone, good afternoon.
Very good afternoon.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you, Prashant, sir, for those kind words. It's really an honor to collaborate with you, the Civil Service Society of Ramanujan College. Now, before we delve into the particular topic on which I am going to speak on, how many of you have a certain experience of UPSC exam or have read about UPSC exam or have any idea about UPSC exam? Please raise hands. Okay. Now the first thing when you read about UPSC exams on the internet or ask your seniors, the most common thing which you get to hear that you have to read everything under the sun. Right? Now let us consider this topic. This is essentially a topic on climate change. If you go across the internet and search for climate change, you will find innumerable materials. There will be hundreds and hundreds of research papers and hundreds of news cutlets from which you have to make notes, then you have to study and then you have to learn them. Honestly speaking, that's not humanly possible. So what does a UPSC aspirant who clears the exam and who doesn't clear? What is that one thing that separates them? The one thing that separates them is how you approach a particular topic, how you think about a particular topic. What is the first viewpoint that you get from that one particular topic? Essentially, what I want to tell is your materials, your study materials, be it notes, be it books, should be minimum. But what you are able to think and analyze from that particular topic should be maximum. Over the series Saksham, in the next few weeks and months, we are going to especially target this part about how to think as a civil servant, or how to think to become an IAS officer or IPS, whatever your dreams are. So let us start with today's topic, that is weathering the storm, India's fight against climate change. Now, how many of you have heard the term climate change? Please give the mic. You can tell.
Sir, climate change means the change in the weather and climate. जिस तरीके से हमारा वातावरण है, उसमें अगर किसी आउटसाइड एंटिटी के द्वारा क्लाइमेट चेंज होता है, क्लाइमेट चेंज का मतलब है क्लाइमेट एकदम से उसकी जो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, उसका जो माहौल है एकदम से बदल जाना। एक होता है क्लाइमेट चेंज, एक होता है वेदर चेंज। पर अभी क्लाइमेट चेंज को लेकर इतना इसलिए चल रहा है क्योंकि अभी जो हमारा एस्टिमेटेड ग्लोबल वार्मिंग है उसका 1.1 डिग्री सेल्सियस ऑब्वियसली बढ़ गया है, और 2030 में 1.5 डिग्री सेल्सियस भी होने को बताते हैं साइंटिस्ट लोग। तो क्लाइमेट चेंज हो रहा है कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड की वजह से, जो ग्रीन हाउस गैस है, मीथेन गैस भी ग्रीन हाउस गैस है, तो उसकी वजह से जो हीट कैप्चर होती है उसकी वजह से क्लाइमेट चेंज होता है। ये जो पेड़ कट रहे हैं उसकी वजह से जो प्रेसिपिटेशन में जो इम्बैलेंस आ रहा है उसकी वजह से क्लाइमेट चेंज हो रहा है।
Okay. So what was my question? I forgot. पूछा क्या था? What is climate change? Now the first statement which you said is climate change is the change in weather and climate. Now this is where you have to be very good with your articulation while preparing for UPSC. Climate change is not the change of weather and climate. Weather and climate are two different things. Long-term change in the weather is called as climate change. It may be due to various factors. Fossil fuel generation due to anthropogenic activities is considered as the primary factor. Now, so you see the difference. Now, what he said was not wrong. That was correct. But how you articulate as a UPSC aspirant, that is what matters. So whenever anyone asks what is climate change, climate change is essentially long-term changes in the weather conditions, which includes temperature, rainfall patterns, wind systems, etc., primarily driven these days by anthropogenic activities which causes fossil fuel generation. Right? So we'll move to the next slide, please. Next. Now, climate change, if you consider impacts of climate change on India, it can never be understated. Primarily, if you see, it affects the water availability. And water availability or a stress in the amount of water that is available for India is very critical for its agriculture sector, because India is essentially an agriculture driven economy. Now, with climate change, what is the primary thing that occurs is occurrence of extreme events. It may be extreme drought or extreme flood, which causes a change in the amount of water availability. Now that will directly affect the agriculture sector, which will again affect the food security of the country, because the yields of many crops will reduce. So if you see the chain of command here, how climate change is being linked to food security. Similarly, if you see, if there is a water stress, the top two energy production sources of India are one thermal power, two hydropower. Right? So now if water availability is getting affected, the energy production is also getting affected. Now these are some of the large scale which will affect the entire India as a nation. Other than that, there are effects such as extreme heat waves conditions, which I think in Delhi we receive a lot of impacts of climate change. Right? So for India and how India fights back, climate change is very important.
sir, I'm just saying that there is also a facility of solar energy. We can see, we can take example of Shiddi. In Shiddi there is a very on a very large scale there is solar energy panels.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming. Now, this is the impact of climate change. After the climate change, we have to see how India is fighting back the climate change. Now, when you think about India's fight back, essentially it is driven by India's climate goals. That is at the heart of India's climate change movement. There are broadly, you can say, 7 climate goals which India is focusing. First, India focuses on life, that is lifestyle for environment, which talks about sustainable lifestyles. Then it asks us to pursue a climate friendly and cleaner development pathway where we are using more greener sources of development. Then the emission intensity, we have set ourselves a quantifiable targets at the climate summits, which is approximately to reach 45% of emission intensity by 2030 from 2005 levels. Other than that, we expect to generate 50% of our energy from non-fossil fuel based energy sources by 2030. And for this, the most important factor which is necessary is capacity building of human resources, one, and the second part of it is generating or mobilizing financial resources, because going through this is going to take a lot of investment. So this is essentially the pathway which India intends to follow. Now, how India is doing this? It is basically through 3 factors. One is policy. Now, when you are coming to attend these workshops, I am cutting short from here, please keep a note or a pen or a paper to note it down. Now, see, the PPTs which will come, it will essentially have some keywords. Note down those keywords and generate your thought process based on those keywords. Rather than writing an entire notebook, your notes for a particular session should not be more than half page. But you should be able to think on it for 5 to 6 pages. So now we know India's climate goals, and the climate goals is based on tripod of policies. One is policy level, then second will go to technology. India is trying to bring in technology solution. And third, at the international level, India is focusing more on climate justice. So if you see at policy level, India has brought a national action plan for climate change, which includes national solar mission, which again targets generating energy from non-fossil fuel based energy resources. There we are targeting to reduce our energy production from fossil fuels and increase energy generation from renewable energies like solar energy, wind energy, hydro energy. Now this is a major plank on which India's climate fight back rests. Next slide please. Now, after policy, the second measure or the second broader framework with which India is trying to attain its climate goals is through technology upgradation and scaling up renewable energy. Now, what does scaling up renewable energy and energy storage mean? Now, if take example solar energy, it is abundant in a state like Madhya Pradesh, but you cannot use that solar energy in say somewhere in northeastern state or somewhere in Himachal Pradesh, unless you can store that energy and then transmit it over long distances. So for that, scaling up of renewable energy and energy storage, investments in particularly these 2 factors are going to be critical in India's climatic fight back. And now we move to the next slide, where the third, at the international level, India has consistently focused on climate justice aspects. Now, if you see climate justice, it essentially means ensuring representation, inclusion and protection of rights of those most vulnerable to climate change. If you see, since the Industrial Revolution, the entire world has generated approximately 2,500 billion tons of carbon dioxide, of which more than 25% have been generated by developed countries. So that is what India advocates, is that now the generators of polluters or those polluters, they are the ones who should be paying. Rather, if we see in today's world, a country like Indonesia or a Brazil, they are bearing the brunt of climate change. But they were not essentially creators of climate change. They were small colonies under Western countries when the Industrial Revolution took place. So India's fight back against climate change has advocated climate justice at international level at various international fora. Now, this is broadly India's system of fighting against climate change. But the one major challenge which India faces right now is that is two. To meet India's goals, India requires $300 billion of money in the next 8 years. So first factor is the huge amount of cost which is required, and second, who is going to bear this cost? So these two are the challenges which we will gradually unfold as we move ahead in our future sessions. But for now, since it's a workshop, this is how the workshop ka flow is going to be in the coming sessions as well. So we get a topic, we give you a brief overview, then we will have a brainstorming activity. So I would request to please gather yourself in groups of 5 or 6 so that we'll start with the activities. Please volunteers if you can help.
You all can make 5-7 students groups, and the groups will be participating in the activity. So that's where your active participation will be there, and you will learn. You'll actively think about it, and you'll bring that in introspection. That's how it is. So you just leave the group. So आप उसको खुद से कर लो तो मुझे लगता है ज़्यादा better होगा. I mean, once you know it.
Three images on your screen. Now your
Sir, you can
work
have a
is to look at that image.
Fine.
Okay, it's visible. So please look at the image, and you have to basically see. You have to tell what you are seeing, and then you have to link it to climate change. But if you suppose if you point out a problem, then do tell me what solution are you going to predict. That's why I said write the keywords. So that must have helped you here. So if you see the first image now, one more. So first image is visible. What do you see here?
सर इसमें बताया जा रहा है कि
देख क्या देख ऑब्जेक्ट
a man, a monkey and flora. वाटर बॉटल भी है.
वो monkey नहीं है. What is that? What are the things? So basically there's a man who is making a koala drink water and it's inside a forest. And where is the koala sitting? Any guesses? On the bonnet of the car. So this, now select one image. I'll be showing you 3 images. So this is the first image. Now let us go to the second one.
Did you guys see like why this koala is sitting on the car? Go ahead.
So actually, this image depicts the scene after the Australian bushfire because of operating fertility. And at that time means that it was deadliest that the Australia has lost almost 7,000 species of animals,
Right.
which consists almost 85% of its wildlife.
So that is good, and that is what actually we can learn from you. What is your name?
Aditya Nayak.
Aditya. So like we can get a context with that koala is not just sitting on the car just because like it's fancy, but it's due to the compulsions of bushfires, the forest fires. So please try to link these things to climate change. So why there are increased instances of climate change, and which areas or portions of the world or in India we are experiencing more increased veracity of instances of climate change. So please try to think in the right way. All missions I was trying to
because the deforestation as well, bushfire is something a natural thing in India. There's annual starting because it might take place. But deforestation is also one of the prime reasons for this.
exactly bushfires.
And then there, but that's the animals are coming to the civilian areas.
Yeah, so bushfires are a natural phenomenon also. It is a forest natural function. Sometimes to get it like some kind of fires are there to get the underground like the undergrowth of it bigger. However, due to climate change, the intensity and the frequency of such instances are increasing. So this is what you guys have to understand. So all the major motive of this workshop is to have more active interaction with you guys, so that we can share our information and so that we can nudge you to think in a proper manner and to correlate and apply the information and knowledge that we are providing you over here. Okay.
Sir, I want to tell one another fact that this incident is very uncommon in countries, especially like Australia, because the bushfires generally not. Means हम देखते नहीं हैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया में बहुत सारे इंसिडेंट हैं, देखते हैं कैलिफोर्निया में हुआ है, इंडिया में हुआ है, मतलब ऑस्ट्रेलिया में
Like I do not concur with you on this thing. So it depends upon news sources you are also reading. But this workshop is not about like factual correctness or something like that. It is more about building or training you guys to build proper solid arguments about structuring your thoughts better.
You can move to the next slide. What is the image visible? If you look at
See, there are all kinds of views actually worldwide. When it comes to even climate change, you see different views, right? See, even you might have different views. But what is the outcome which is aimed here? To make you enable how to think, how to bring these things in perspective, so that you can address the requirement of nature. Ultimately, that is the purpose. So otherwise, you will see a lot of all kinds of different views. There are even people who deny completely that climate change is happening. You getting the point, right? So that kind of argument is not the purpose. Purpose is only to make you think on that line where basically we actually accept there is climate change and it's affecting all of us. You getting my point, right? And that will be expected of you to come up with different views, different things in the exam. So when it comes to exam point of view, from the exam point of view. So you see in that perspective, even if you have some different view or some contrary view, you can concur with the other people who have the different views. You can come up with the arguments. It shows that you are more aligned with the contemporary argument, contemporary things which is going on around the world. It only shows that you are actually aligned with that. You are already on the track. You are already on the path. That is what the perspective is. That is what the aim is. I hope you get the point, right? Start thinking. That is what will create all the differences. Once you start thinking and start bringing everything into perspective, how to manage it, how to get each other anyway. Final out. That is the perspective. That is the aim. So be on that line.
So you have to directly वहाँ पर फ्लड आया, बाढ़ आएगी और वहाँ पे जो महिला है वो बचने की कोशिश कर रही है, उस पानी से बाहर निकलने की कोशिश कर रही है। जो पानी से ग्रस्त है।
Please, like I would want every like volunteer from every group to add at least some points for every group. Yeah, please be more proactive.
और जो
हम ये सफर कर दिए जैसे सफर किसने किया जैसे फ्लड आया है फ्लड आया है तो फ्लड में रीजन किसी और का था लेकिन सफ़र वो छोटा बच्चा कर रहा है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल जो यहाँ क्लाइमेट चेंज हुआ है, क्लाइमेट चेंज पाश्चात्य देशों में वेस्टर्न कंट्री की वजह से ज़्यादा हुआ, इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन हुआ ज़्यादा हुआ, लेकिन उसका खामियाजा पूरा वर्ल्ड में
सर इसमें बताएंगे कि जैसे फ्लड आई हुई है और हम इसको अभी जो लेटेस्ट फ्लड आया था जो यमुना बैंक जो आसपास फ्लड आया था उसके साथ कोरिलेट कर सकते हैं कि जो लो कास्ट पीपल होते हैं या जिनको जो ट्राइबल होते हैं वो इन चीज़ों ज़्यादा सफर करते हैं क्योंकि जो नेचुरल इन्वायरमेंट होता है वो उनको प्रभाव होता जाता है तो पॉल्यूशन और एक्सप्लोटेशन की वजह से। तो इसमें साफ से देखिए कि इनका जो घर है वो भी नेचुरली मेड है, इसमें कुछ मतलब साइंटिफिक चीज़ें मतलब इसमें इन्वायरमेंटल चीज़ें सारी है और इसमें फ्लड आया हुआ जिसकी वजह से ये अपने घर को खोलते जा रहे हैं। अगर हम इसको कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं, ये में जो बाढ़ आई थी 205 फीट से 2010 फीट के बीच तक उसका जो पानी का स्तर था, तो उसमें काफ़ी लोगों ने सफ़र किया था, काफ़ी लोगों के घर डूब गए थे और ये लोग डिपेंडेंट होते हैं अपने घर के लिए क्योंकि इनका जो क्लाइमेट होता है, जो इनका नेचुरल क्लाइमेट होता है, जो इनका फॉरेस्ट होता है, फॉरेस्ट होता है वही इनका घर होता है और इनका घर एक्सप्लोर होता जा रहा है, इसमें लिविंग प्लेस है। This is a very good view, a very new view. I was not expecting it from here. But if you see this one, you can connect it like this as well. So these are the most vulnerable people. So it includes women, children, and poor people basically. But are they responsible for climate change? So basically, one who is creating the climate change, the one who is responsible, he or she is not bearing the major brand of climate change. So while you think this, think in different directions, think with the dark. Any other views?
Exactly like near coastal region, there are many fishery farmers who used to be suffer from this flooding area. Like हमारा climate change हो गया, temperature high हो गया, after that glacier melting हो गया, then it used to be like flood हमारा coastal region में पड़ रहा है, वहाँ पे कि आधे से ज़्यादा जो हमारा fishing farmer है, वो exist करता है, जिनका like construction भी completed नहीं है, like हम इसी में देख रहे हैं कि हमारा कितना problem है, so what के इसके लिए एक change लाना होगा।
So basically ये कोई coastal area या कोई river bank area है और हमें ये पता चलता है कि जब भी फ्लड या फिर कोई क्लाइमेट चेंज होता है तो लोगों की लाइफ में बहुत इम्पैक्ट होता है, रिहैबिटेशन का इशू बहुत ज़्यादा होता है और बेसिकली जो रूरल एरिया के या फिर के आसपास पुअर लोग रहते हैं सबसे ज़्यादा
Rehabilitation is one of the major issues which is going to come up as the effects of climate change rise and rise. If you are well versed with news on a daily basis, a new kind of refugees, which are climate change refugees, this will come in policy circles. The point where you are starting your preparation or want to get into UPSC, topics like climate change and terms related to that, like climate change refugees, rehabilitation, displacement versus development. These all things will become the major pertaining issues during your preparation. Okay, now any
Sir, you like जो लोगों को लगता है, it's not that the flood is causing that much damage, but the unfixed floods are causing damage. Because ऐसा नहीं कि floods आज से आ रहे हैं, पिछले 10 साल से शुरू हुए हैं. It's from the beginning of the humankind. But अब जो हो रहा है कि unfixed floods आ रहे हैं. पहले जो coastal areas में थे, they are well versed, उनको इतनी knowledge होती है कि floods कब आते हैं. High tide जो है इसको बहुत अच्छे से अंदाजा होता है. But still अब ऐसा हो गया because of climate change, तो cycle हो गया flood का. They are not able to with that. वो change हो रहा है. That's the reason unwanted floods आ रहे हैं. उससे जो damage है वो बहुत ज़्यादा है compared to the normal floods of which is जो एक साल में जो एक बार आती है. So this is the reason ये इतना damage हो रहा है because of unfixed floods, because of the cycle change.
He has made a good point. What is your name? So Krishna has made a good point. And just like in the case of wildfires also, like we had told, that wildfires is a natural phenomenon also, but due to the anthropogenic activities or like excessive CO2 emissions from like mankind, so the intensity and the frequency of such occurrences has increased, and it has become very erratic and unpredictable. And as Krishna was suggesting, so if we cannot anticipate an event better, we will never be able to plan it better. So that is what. Thank you for me.
Now, adding to that, that is the case with climate change in general as well. You must have heard about ice ages. So, Earth itself has its own process of climate change, which is a natural process, and it is bound to occur but over longer geological time scales. What anthropogenic activities and human-induced changes have done is they fastened the process. Now, when they fasten the process, the natural barriers for Earth, how it manages itself, that management of the entire planet gets disturbed. So, climate change and any impact of climate change, the issue is at hand is not the climate change particularly, the acceleration of the pace due to human-induced activities. Okay, so any other view, please? Please tell your name.
My name is Anjali. इस पिक्चर को देखते हुए जो सबसे पहला जो व्यू आया है, इस पिक्चर की सबसे बड़ी आइडिया ये है कि इसमें तो एक गोल्ड लेडी है, एक यंग लेडी है, उसके साथ एक बेबी भी है उसका। तो कहीं ना कहीं यहाँ पे तो पिक्चर में दिख रहा है कि फ्लड आ रखा है, उनका घर भी ऐसा ही है। तो कहीं ना कहीं देखा जाए तो यहाँ पे 3 जनरेशन ऐसी है जो उस प्रॉब्लम से अफेक्टेड है। पहली चीज़ तो ये, और दूसरी चीज़ ये कि इवन दे डू नॉट नो अबाउट द क्लाइमेट चेंज, फ्लड, ये सब चीज़ों के बारे में उन्हें नहीं पता, बट स्टिल वो इन सब चीज़ों को फेस कर रही है। तो हम देखते हैं, हम लेटेस्ट एग्जाम्पल देखते हैं 2014 में हमारा जो फ्लड आया था, जो केदारनाथ वाला हुआ था, तो उसमें हम देखते हैं काफ़ी लोगों ने अपनी ज़िंदगी उसमें लगा दी। उसी के साथ साथ वो माइग्रेशन के लिए मजबूर हो अपनी तरफ से। तो इसी वजह से हम यहाँ पे एक चीज़ और यहाँ देख सकते हैं कि इस चीज़ से केवल हमने, हमारे आने वाली जो जनरेशन है वो भी अफेक्टेड होगी।
This is a very
Great
good
point.
point. Talking about intergenerational equity. How many of you have heard about this term, intergenerational equity? What intergenerational equity basically means is, we as humans have borrowed the present earth and resources from our future generations. So it is our duty and responsibility to conserve it for our future generations, which is at the heart of the meaning of sustainable development. From intergenerational equity, you can write this term, it was written there as well.
These terms you keep writing.
Sustainable development flows, and this is a very good point which has been made. Someone wanted to talk here.
But why are we using a different term if we're using sustainable development already?
Intergenerational equity is the principle. Now, from there, many approaches you take to achieve intergenerational equity. Sustainable development processes is one of those processes. Right?
Can you give us some more examples of that? More examples?
Well, if you see, we talk about in climate change, there is a concept of common but differentiated responsibilities. Historical responsibility which I talk about. The polluter has to pay because they have consumed the maximum amount of climate from the future generation. They have reduced the carbon budget. Right. Next.
पिक्चर में क्लियरली शो हो रहा है कि जैसे सब नेचुरल कैलेमिटीज कोई भी है, हम बाहर जाते हैं उसे रोक नहीं सकते, लेकिन एक चीज़ हमारे हाथ में वो है प्रिपेयर्डनेस। उसके लिए वो दो तरीके से उसकी एक तो रेस्क्यू की जो चीज़ें हैं हम उस पर काम करें, रेस्क्यू, और एक प्रॉपर जो होता है कि जैसे फ्लड है, वाटर इसका नेचर के अगर उसे रास्ता नहीं देंगे वो खुद ब खुद बना लेगा रास्ता। तो हमारे लिए एक इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि उसे रास्ता दें जिससे वो जा सके और डिस्ट्रक्टिव नेचर ना हो। तो दूसरा है कि सर जैसे ब्रह्मपुत्र नदी की है जो चाइना के कंट्रोल में, हमारा चाइना की पॉलिसीज के ऊपर कोई कंट्रोल नहीं है, लेकिन हमारा खुद के प्रिपेयर्डनेस के ऊपर कंट्रोल है। जो नदी नाले जहाँ से हो रहा है उसकी प्रॉपर सफाई है, और एक रेस्क्यू जो होती है प्रॉपर रेस्क्यू उस पर काम किया जाए। जैसे और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ होती है कि सर सोसाइटी में जो सबसे निचली जो होते हैं, जो बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन है वो होते हैं, वो सबसे ज़्यादा सफ़र करते हैं। जैसे कल परसों में ही नागपुर का सीन था, तो वहाँ पर देखा गया कि जो सबसे निचली सोसाइटी थी वो सबसे ज़्यादा सफ़र कर रही है इन सब चीज़ों में। तो
ऊपर की सोसाइटीज होती है, सोसाइटीज हैं जो ऊपर के लोग हैं, वो किसी न किसी तरीके से रेस्क्यू हो जाते हैं, लेकिन एट लास्ट जो सफर करना पड़ रहा है, जो पे बियर करना पड़ रहा है, वो सबसे लोअर को ही पे बियर करना।
तीन जनरेशन है उसके अंदर, तो जैसे आगे आने वाली जनरेशन है तो उसके लिए हमें ये उम्मीद करनी चाहिए कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट करना चाहिए, इन्वायरमेंट को ध्यान में रखते हुए डेवलपमेंट करना चाहिए। और दूसरा ये कि जो लोअर क्लास है, जो अभी भाई ने बताया, तो लोअर क्लास सबसे ज़्यादा प्रभावित होती है इससे, तो उनके लिए पॉलिसी बनानी चाहिए या शुरुआत से ये पॉलिसी बनानी चाहिए गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा कि इनको कैसे प्रभावित होने से बचाया जा सके, और इनको पहले से ही चेतावनी दी जा सके। जैसे इन्वायरमेंट से रिलेटेड कोई भी इशू है, लाइक साइक्लोन आने वाले हैं, तो उसके लिए भी पहले से मौसम विभाग के साथ बताया जा सके, लोअर क्लास और सारी मीडिया के माध्यम से साइक्लोन आने वाले हैं, तो उससे पहले ही उनको आगे बताया जा सके, जो कि लोअर क्लास there's a contradiction, मतलब यहाँ पे 2-3 लोगों ने कहा कि थर्ड जनरेशन है and they must facing problem, but my question is, if your father, your forefathers are doing the same thing and they are going with the same problem, obviously आप भी उसके चीज़ के लिए वेल इक्विप्ड हो जाते हैं, आप उसको समझ जाते हो कि अच्छा मेरे फादर हर महीने ये 2 महीने बाढ़ आती है, वो पहले से ही 1 महीने पहले प्रिपेयर होकर पीछे आ जाते हैं, हम उनसे डिमोटिवेट कर जाते हैं, यहाँ चले जाते हैं। तो आपके अंदर भी कहीं ना कहीं वो चीज़ें फ्रॉम द वेरी बिगिनिंग ऑफ योर लाइफ आपके अंदर हो जाती है, तो कैसे थर्ड जनरेशन इफेक्ट हो रही है, आई एम नॉट गेटिंग दिस अनटिल अनलेस आप वहाँ पर रहे ही नहीं है अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ, तो दैट कैन बी द केस, बट अगर आप वहीं पे हैं, उनके साथ हैं और बचपन से वही चीज़ देखते आ रहे हैं हर साल, तो आई थिंक सो दे शुड बी इक्विप्ड ऑफ to how to manage this thing, because they are seeing their forefathers doing the same thing, how they are managing these things. तो यहाँ पे वो 2 सेंटेंस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं कि मैंने कहा था कैनबिलिटी वाला, अनप्रेडिक्टेबल वाला, और वहाँ पर 3 जनरेशन वाला, these 2 things are contradicting each other.
Okay, although see, again a group of people, if they are influenced out of some natural disaster,
so that does not mean that these people are equipped enough to endure the troubles that the climate is offering them. So if a child grows up to be a like 15-year-old kid, and if he again faces the floods again, so that does not make him equipped to face the floods again. That is not his like responsibility or duty to face that flood. That is what he.
I'll add to it. I feel both the points are pretty complementary. Because in the amount of floods my grandfather was facing, I come from Odisha, coastal Odisha. So the place now, unpredictability of floods makes it very difficult for the third generations. Understanding? See, climate change is like a black box. You do not know what is going inside and when what is going to come out. Since it is unpredictable, nobody is prepared. And the unpredictability will take an upward gulf with coming generations. That is the whole issue which I felt. The first generation, it was still predictable. By you reach the third generation, the time at which you reach the third generation, the unpredictability will rise. The crop yields, you cannot predict the crop yields right now. As we move ahead, we will have El Nino and La Nina lectures. El Nino and La Nina have very tremendous impact. That was not there in our generations of forefathers. So unpredictability leads to unpredictability in preparedness as well. With technology, we feel will be better
Okay. Now, we come to the third and the last one.
Takes time also. Have one more look.
सर हम इसमें देख सकते हैं कि जैसे ड्रॉट्स हो गई है और बारिश नहीं आ रही तो जिसकी वजह से ड्रॉट्स हो गई है.
I would want, since this is the last picture, so please have a close look at the picture, and I would at least want 10 volunteers to comment upon this series. Even 2 arguments are good enough.
What I see is a farmer who is engaged in farming. वहाँ पे fields हैं, पेड़ हैं, और क्या है? Adding to that.
सर इसमें ये है इन फार्मर को काम करने में दिक्कत मतलब कोई कंपनी से होती है क्योंकि उनके पास भी ट्रेडिशनल मेथड है और इनके पास मैकेनिकल जो एडवांस मेथड है वो भी है और इनका जो फार्मर डिस्ट्रेस इंडेक्स है एफडीआई वो इसमें काफ़ी मैटर करता है क्योंकि अगर ये सपोज मान लो क्रॉप खराब होगी तो उसके बदले इनको काफ़ी नुकसान चुकाना पड़ेगा. तो ये these are some of the small habits which you need to inculcate.
What I can think of with the image, I mean, what I am getting is there's some relation between what crop rotation and improper cyclic rainfall cyclic condition is required is there, because which we are saying कि वहाँ पे क्रॉप्स हैं वहाँ पे तो हैं जो भी क्रॉप्स है वहाँ पे इतना अमाउंट ऑफ रेनफॉल हुआ है जिससे वो तो ग्रो कर गए हैं, बट जो यहाँ पे है जो भी क्रॉप यहाँ पे ग्रो की गई है क्योंकि या तो लैक ऑफ वाटर और एक्सेस ऑफ वाटर के कारण, नॉट एक्सेस ऑफ वाटर बट प्रॉब्ली लैक ऑफ वाटर के कारण वो नहीं ग्रो की है या खराब हो गई है फसल. तो दैट्स व्हाट आई कैन लिंक. देयर इज अ improper balance between crop rotation and improper rainfall condition.
What he's trying to tell is the linkage between the climate and the agriculture, and uneven climate leading to uneven cropping fields.
सर फर्स्ट थिंग दैट क्लाइमेट चेंज के कारण मॉनसून अच्छे से नहीं हुआ, रेनफॉल प्रॉपर नहीं है. बट यहाँ पे हम देख सकते हैं आजू बाजू का जो एरिया है वो ग्रीन है और इनका जो फार्म है मोस्टली उसमें वाटर का अमाउंट है. तो हम ये समझ सकते हैं कि आसपास के लोगों के पास इरिगेशन का सोर्स था और उनके पास इरिगेशन का सोर्स नहीं था. ये हमें एक और चीज़ बताता है कि हाउ एग्रीकल्चर में भी इकोनॉमिकल डाइवर्सिटी और डिफ्रेंसिएशन होता है. लाइक कुछ फार्मर्स बहुत पुअर होते हैं और कुछ मे बी जिनके पास सोर्स होता है.
Thank you for making a good point. And as students, we should also think, let's try to broaden the scope of this picture. आप लोग ये सोचिए कि how can climate change or how climate change is impacting the Indian agricultural sector.
I think one of the reasons behind this picture is farmer use excessively harmful chemicals. The reason behind this picture is harmful chemicals.
Yeah, so this is, thank you for writing this one. This is also one dimension of Indian agriculture, that excessive use of fertilizers and pesticides. But we need to think why the farmer is using excessive amounts of fertilizers and pesticides. Is it related to climate change? Are the pest attacks, increased pest attacks, locust attacks, are they correlated with climate change? Warming of the temperatures? Exactly.
the way of thinking can vary significantly, particularly while letting go. So if I see this picture, I see a farmer who is of an old age and still he is working so hard, which talks about the lack of youth in agriculture. Now, what are the causes of lack of youth in agriculture? You can go there dimensionally as well. You can touch upon the social cause. This is how you can think. Right? So if I consider he is the only farmer in agriculture, so there is a lack of workforce also in agriculture and workforce in the working age population. India has a huge demographic dividend, but how many of those, the dividend part, want to work in agriculture? They many work in agriculture, but it's usually of a compulsion. So this is how you can link your thought process.
सर ये जो भी इसमें बताया कि हार्मफुल फर्टिलाइजर और हार्मफुल केमिकल्स डाले जाते हैं, उसके पीछे पूरे प्रोसेस है। इसके पीछे प्रोसेस है बायोलॉजिकल मैग्निफिकेशन, जिसमें बायोलॉजिकल मैग्निफिकेशन में क्या होता है कि जो हार्मफुल फर्टिलाइजर और जो अनडिस्पोजेबल और जो नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल सब्सटेंसेस जैसे DDT हो गए, वो काफ़ी सारे टॉक्सिन के अंदर घुस के उसको खराब करता है, उस क्वालिटी खराब कर देता है और उसे हमारे खाने मतलब हमको खाने के लिए सर मतलब अगर खेत खराब हो जाते हैं वो इनको थोड़ी सी दिक्कत होती है, उससे जैसे खेत में खराब हो जाता है। सर क्लाइमेट चेंज में हो सकता है कि सॉइल इरोजन इससे हो जाता है, जिससे कि जो पेड़ का जो पार्ट जो बाकी ट्रीज का जो पार्ट होता है वो एसिडिक हो जाता है। बेसिक जो उसका जो सॉइल नेचर है वो एसिडिक हो जाता है, जिसकी वजह से जो पेड़ों की क्वालिटी खराब हो जाती है और उतना ऑक्सीजन जनरेट नहीं कर पाती।
Hello guys, my name is Muskan. So basically India is an agricultural country. तो हर फार्मर को पता होता है कि कब उसे कौन सी क्रॉप उगानी है, कब बारिश होगी और कब उसकी क्रॉप होगी। बट अब अनइवन रेनफॉल की वजह से फार्मर अपनी क्रॉप उगाता भी है, बट बारिश नहीं होती, उसकी वजह से क्रॉप पूरी खराब हो जाती है। सो बेसिकली क्लाइमेट चेंज ने इतना इफेक्ट किया कि अब एक फार्मर जो इतने सालों से अपनी क्रॉप उगा रहा है वो भी प्रिडिक्ट नहीं कर सकता कि आगे चल के उसकी क्रॉप होगी भी या नहीं। तो बेसिकली यही है कि क्लाइमेट चेंज ने ये भी चेंज कर दिया कि फार्मर अपना इतना सोच सके कि आज मैं क्रॉप उगाऊंगा और वो कल हो भी जाएगी, क्योंकि क्या पता फ्लड ही आ जाए, क्या पता बिल्कुल ही बारिश ना हो। तो उसके लिए पता लगाना कि उसकी क्रॉप को पानी मिलेगा भी या नहीं मिलेगा बहुत हार्ड है।
सबसे बेसिक चीज़ जो देख सकते हैं वो फार्मर के हाथ में कुछ चीज़ें हैं, और ये जो फसल है वो एक राइस है। तो इस वक्त में वो जब सीडिंग करता है तो उसकी जो गुणवत्ता है सीड्स की वो HYP सीड्स नहीं होगी, क्योंकि उसकी जो सीड्स उसके हाथ में है वो HYP सीड्स टाइप की नहीं लगती है, जो नॉर्मल सीड्स होती है धान की वो की होगी, और उसमें उतनी HYP सीड्स की जो गुणवत्ता आती है वो नहीं हो सके, इस कारण से उसकी फसल खराब।
कि मेरी तो अभी अभी सर ने बताया कि डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड है जो यहाँ पे वर्क है, हमें दिख रहे हैं ओल्ड एज है, बाकी बिल्कुल नहीं लगता कि वहाँ पे कोई क्लाइमेट ऐसा कुछ हुआ है जो मतलब अगर आप चारों तरफ देखें तो वहाँ पे हरियाली है, ओबियसली वहाँ पे क्लाइमेट चेंज मतलब क्लाइमेट ऐसे कोई नहीं हुआ होगा कि क्लाइमेट में कुछ जैसे बाढ़ ना आई हो या फिर बारिश
चाहे वो पहले के कोई भी ऐसे नेचुरल डिजास्टर्स रहे, से वाटर स्कैरसिटी हो और इट कैन बी फ्लडिंग ऑल्सो. However, जो हमने बात किया है, I would like to give you a structure to think always. So whenever there is some natural disaster or any sort of say suffering which is imposed on the society, so एक thumb rule मान के चलिए कि the poorest section of the society, or the people who belong to very lower financial strata, they will be the hardest sufferers of those things. However, you can create even like deeper groupings within that. So within the poor also, the poor women will suffer even more. Okay, and that is what actually is wanted to show over there. However, that is more nuanced thinking, which you guys will develop over the time, and we do not expect you to think in a very sociological manner also. That what kind of like impact does climate change have on the society also. But always try to remember, keep it a thumb rule, that if there is any sort of suffering by anything, the poor will suffer the most. Even within that, there will be groupings of women, of caste, of gender. Okay, so if these women are there, and if some sort of say natural disaster is happening, the poor will suffer more. In the poor, within the group of poor, the women will suffer more. Within the women also, the people from women from suppressed classes will suffer even more. Okay, so these kind of thumb rules you guys should try to develop from this young age, so that you guys can, whenever you read something on the newspaper, you are able to like correlate better. Okay.
And कुछ लोगों ने बहुत ही बढ़िया से they actually identified the problem statement. They actually linked it very properly, and they even reached to the logical conclusion, which is very much linking with the topic which we discussed. That is good enough also. I hope that makes sense, right? Anyway, you keep bettering day by day. That's where it is.
Okay, to conclude, I will write a question. Assess the impact of climate change on Himalayas and coastal plains of India. We will not be discussing it right now. You go home. Assess the impact of climate change on the Himalayas and coastal plains of India. How many of you are confident that you have a good amount of content to write on this after today's? Okay, that's a good enough number. So this is a question which came in 2017 or 18. What the point I'm trying to make is, try to make your answer multi-dimensional. Okay.
So can you repeat the question?
Assess the impact of climate change on the Himalayas and coastal plains of India. So if you have listened to all the events in the three pictures and what your fellows were telling, you will get the appropriate answer and you will reach. Then we have talked about agriculture, we have talked about the older generation, we have talked about the people and the farming community. Then we have talked about women and children.
Like you mentioned the old age. So how can you relate with the climate change? Can we think in that dimension as well?
Yeah. See, the thing is, old age is a dependent population. Right? They are dependent on their working age generation to take care of them, to feed them.
Like this picture shows the old age, so we can make a point. But with the respect of climate change, can we add this dimension as well? Like in the
Impact of climate change
with the relation with climate change, when let's say you are thinking in the direction of old age and like the youth and all. So can we add this point as well in the answer?
Due to climate change, the agriculture is not regulated. And the youth doesn't want to take part in agriculture.
Yeah.
Okay, so they move out for better economic opportunities, leaving their older generation back. And they are the ones who are engaged in agriculture.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Unpredictability, yield, everything you can bring into perspective.
if you leave apart the agricultural sector also, so if there is one argument as in how climate change impacts older group of people, so you can definitely say that with climate change, newer variants and newer types of disease burdens are increasing. So food is like infested with various kind of pollutants, and as we know that with every age our natural immune response reduces. So in this way also you can.
सर इस पॉइंट में देखिए अगर कि इनके पास सिलोज भी नहीं है, सिलोज मतलब जो क्रॉप्स स्टोर करने के लिए सिलो होते हैं, इनके पास सिलोज है नहीं, तो अगर इनकी बाकी कोई क्रॉप खराब भी हो जाए तो फिर वो स्टोर नहीं कर सकते, वो उनका जो नुकसान होगा वो तो होगा, और जो इकोनॉमिक जीडीपी है क्रॉप इकोनॉमिक जीडीपी
I totally understand. But then Sani is trying to create a broader argument.
सर एंड कुछ पेस्टिसाइड इंसेक्टिसाइड्स आते हैं कुछ
हाँ बिल्कुल that will be
जैसे टोमेटो का मूवी है उसमें वायरस जो कि क्रॉप्स को वायरस करने में और जो उसकी पॉलिसी जो खराब करने में उसका पूरा तो माइक्रोबायोस तो इसमें मैं यही वैसा वाला इंसेक्टिसाइड्स
Every group will hold their, A, B, C, D name करके मिला नहीं सबको एक social. So you just hold it and then take a pic. So you will have the record. There is a, these are the groups. अच्छा ये बिल्कुल उतना नहीं है. बाद में वो कर देना. Black and red.
Hold it for a while.
कब हमको बोल रहा है, कब वल्नरेबल सेक्शन बोल रहा है, कब वल्नरेबल सेक्शन को और डाइवर्सिफाई करके बोल रहा है ऑब्जेक्टिविटी के साथ, कहाँ कहाँ किसकी जरूरत है. आई होप दैट मेक्स सेंस राइट. तो कब राइट टर्म को कहाँ पे यूटिलाइज करना है, टर्मिनोलॉजीज. आई होप दैट यू गेट दैट. किस तरह से लॉजिकल फ्लो मेंटेन करना है व्हेनेवर यू स्पीकिंग और राइटिंग. चाहे कोई भी एंगल ले रहे हो, चाहे यू स्पीकिंग इन द फेवर और इवन अगेंस्ट, आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट द प्रोज एंड इवन कॉन्स, you got the logical flow. How you have to speak that on that line, how you have to conclude. ये हर चीज में करना है, प्रेजेंटेशन में भी, राइटिंग वाले में भी, बोलते समय भी. This is what you learning, right? These are the takeaways. ये दिखना चाहिए असेसमेंट में भी और अगली बार और इम्प्रूवमेंट दिखना चाहिए. I will go to the point, right? So
sessions to be very classic. Like you guys come to the college, you sit in the classroom, so teacher is there, so they are like delivering the lecture. So we never wanted these workshops to be designed like that. So that is why our pedagogy is different. It has to be more interactive and more thought-provoking. So, like since I would like to thank the Lee Foundation also for organizing such events, and I would want like the topic selection also from your side. Like if you guys can also suggest on what topics you want to have such group brainstorming sessions like that. So we could be ready for that. So I guess you guys can communicate to your coordinators and likewise the channel of communication. So thank you guys for attending the session. We all are looking forward for like such more sessions.
Even today we planned two topics were there. Just because of paucity of time, because there were some changes in the time and things. So sir had already had the sessions, we got little late. So we only conducted one. From next onwards we'll have two. Instead of two topics. So that's how it is. And I really again want to thank your the complete NEEV team. They are really putting in a lot of effort to coordinate this. Actually conduct this in a more innovative manner. But otherwise, usually what happens, it's kind of a one-sided things. Somebody comes and speaks to you, tells you a lot of data and things, knowledge, ज्ञान हुआ, तुमने भी सुना निकल गया. यहाँ ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. At least there has to be some takeaways and has to be concrete. दिखना भी चाहिए अगले वाले में, क्योंकि assessment इसीलिए दिया जा रहा है. इससे हमें दिखेगा कि हाँ सच में participation भी है, interaction भी है और outcome भी. Right? That's how we'll go. We actually encouraging more students. Come in and join in. Whoever is more active, who have the willingness to go towards the public sector, even apart from public sector, this will end in every field. Whatever the career option you're looking for anyway, this will have some add-on. So it is going to add some value. It will be very much value addition oriented. All this, even in the communication. That's all from our side. Thank you. Thank you for the participation.
It was indeed, I would like to thank all of you for this session. I would like to call upon the both press who is present between us to kindly give the official vote of thanks.
Very good afternoon, all of you. On the behalf of me, I would like to extend our sincere thanks to Nisit sir, Vidyan sir and Rajiv sir from Vajiram and Ravi, and I hope that our students will be very much benefited from this workshop that was on capacity building. I am sorry, actually I had class, so I missed this workshop, but I hope that our students and our team will be greatly benefited from this workshop. Thank you, Lee, for organizing such workshops and events from time to time. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, sir. I would like to appreciate the efforts of Preeti Kaushik, who is a second year student and she was the event head during the event. She has really taken a lot of efforts and the team Manan, Karan Sagar, Suryam, Aditya, Prince, everyone. The team is working diligently to make this session very successful. Thank you so very much. Now I would like to call all of you on the stage for a group photograph. Faculty and the team from Vajiram and IS as well.